Welcome back to another video with the 50-200mm f2.8 M.Zuiko lens. And in this video, I'll be trying out both the 1.4 and 2 times teleconverters on this lens to see how it performs in the field for wildlife photography. Stay tuned to the end of the video. We'll have a bit of a closer look up on the images to see what kind of sharpness we can get using the teleconverters. Now, if you haven't seen the video where I'm using this lens for nature photography, I'll put a link to it here so you can check it out. Let's first try this out with the 1.4 teleconverter. So using now the 50-200mm with the 1.4 teleconverter, so that becomes a 70-280mm f4, and in full frame equivalent that would be 140-560mm. So a really good reach even by just using the 1.4 teleconverter. So at 280mm f4 it is quite close to the M.Zuiko 300mm f4, which is one of my all-time favorite lenses. Now, from what I can tell, it's working really well with the 1.4 teleconverter. Of course, we need to have a closer look at the images later on. But one thing I'm really impressed with is the speed of the autofocus. So having bird subject detection on my camera, continuous autofocus, and using a big box to kind of find the birds and get focus on the birds. And it's really quick. You know, I would expect a zoom lens with a teleconverter to really slow that down, to really start chasing a lot more for the birds. But I can't actually tell the difference right now when I wasn't using it. But a little bit later in the video, I'm going to try and film and share the screen that I'm photographing with, and we'll test without the teleconverters and then with the 1.4 and then with the 2 times teleconverter, just to see if we can actually tell a difference kind of real time in the field, trying to focus on these fast birds. OM System are running some amazing autumn deals and a chance to win a trip to Namibia if you buy this lens or the 150-400mm f4.5. Get cash back on a selection of M.Zuiko lenses, the 150-600, 300mm f4, 40-150 f2.8 and f4, and the 100-400 Mark II. Get €300 cash back on the OM1 Mark II, either with or without the kit lens 12-40mm, as well as a free battery grip. Follow the link to the OM System website to see some of the incredible autumn deals on offer. So if you are thinking about getting either one of these 2 amazing pro lenses, don't wait any longer. Get them now so you have a chance of winning a trip of a lifetime to Namibia in 2026. So I think I've been getting a few decent images now that we can look closer on the computer with the 1.4 teleconverter. So let's try out the 2 times teleconverter and see how that performs. So with the 2 times teleconverter, the zoom becomes 100-400mm f5.6. In full frame equivalent, 200-800mm. just having a little bit look at the back of the camera, some of the images look really nice and sharp, but you can't really trust this tiny little LCD screen for sharpness. It's the kind of thing you have to check on the computer, because there will be slightly differences between the two. You don't get the resolution on a small screen like this, so it's difficult to tell, but it looks good. It's promising anyways. So let's have a look at when I was filming on the back of the screen, basically seeing how quick the autofocus subject detection would react. So right away, we're using no teleconverter. As you can see here, it's f2.8. Got the blue tit. It's really impressive how it keeps focusing on it even though it's behind a leaf. Really impressive. And it's just super sharp. As soon as the bird flies away, it just follows it. So really impressive without anything. And here we got with the 1.4 teleconverter, also really good, really fast and responsive. You know, as even there, just the cold tip jumping away, it follows it right away. There again. And for that one, just really tracking it really well. Now we got the 2x teleconverter. And it's very responsive. I think there you can see a little bit, maybe it was lagging a little bit after the bird moved. So maybe with the 2x teleconverter, there might be a little bit of a delay every now and then, but still incredibly impressive. Like, it's not lagging much at all. Okay, so I've picked a selection of images here taken without the teleconverters, then with the 1.4, and then with the 2x, just so we can have a little bit of a closer look at them. First one up here is of a red squirrel that I got in the first video, if you haven't seen that. I really love this image. Squirrel is just climbing down this tree trunk. So this is a 200mm f2.8. And zooming in, it's super sharp. It's tack sharp. Very narrow depth of field. I'm quite close to the squirrel here, so it's basically just the eyes here and a little bit of the fur that is super sharp, and the rest is kind of blurring out. And I have quite a big screen, so it's not going to look like I'm zooming in that much, but it is at 100% that I'm zooming in. Next one, I picked another bird image here of a blue tit, also from the first video without any teleconverters. Zooming in, and it's just tack sharp again. So it's just to show that really good without any teleconverters. Then we got the 1.4 teleconverter. So you can check with the stats over here on the right. Focal length now 280 and f4, so 560mm full frame equivalent. And zooming in on this blue tit image, I can't tell the difference here. Now I apologize if you can see. I don't know how good your resolution is going to be when you're viewing this, but I will let you know what I'm seeing, and hopefully you will see the same. But this looks very sharp to me. I can't really tell a difference, and this is using the 1.4 teleconverter. Very similar with this one here, the cold tit image here. Zooming in, eye looks very sharp. It's a little bit smaller in the frame, so it might be a little bit hard to tell, but I can't really tell a difference by using the 1.4 and not using it. And I picked one more image here with the 1.4 just to show you that maybe it's not as consistent as without using the teleconverter. So here's one of the nuthatch images that I got, and here I think I've cropped this image a little bit, not very much, and here viewing it just full screen, it looks very good, totally acceptable. Zooming in, still totally acceptable, but I think I can tell that it's a little bit of a softness to it. So I think that maybe using the 1.4, I would get mostly really good results. Can't really tell the difference, super sharp images, but maybe not every now and then I would see an image that I'd pick like this, which look absolutely acceptable, don't get me wrong, but it's only when I zoom in 100% that I can tell that, oh, maybe it's a little bit soft, actually. Using the 2x teleconverter, I got an image here of a squirrel just to show you that comparison, and also just to show how close up you can get with this. You know, this is the 2x teleconverter, so 400mm, 800mm full frame equivalent, and f5.6. I don't think this has been cropped at all. So zooming in here, I mean, For using a 2x teleconverter, I think this is really good. I think there is a little bit of a softness to it. It's a very narrow depth of field because I'm so close with such a long reach, but it looks really good, perhaps a little bit of a softness to it. So here we got of great hit, and I think here, showing the full image like this, it's been cropped a little bit, but not much. Absolutely acceptable when showing it like this. Zooming in, I mean, I still think it's acceptable. Don't get me wrong. It's only when you're at 100% here, I can see there's a tiny bit of a softness around the eye. Nut hatch image here. So this image was not cropped at all and looks very good. When I zoom in, I can see there's a tiny bit of softness around the eye. I wanted to show you this example as well. This is of a chaffinch, and this is also with a 2x teleconverter, 400mm, f5.6, and it looks superb. It looks superb. It looks tack sharp. Zooming in 100%, I still think that looks sharp. I don't really see any of that slight softness that I saw in some of the other images in this one. Which is kind of interesting that with the 2x teleconverter, I could still get images that are tack sharp, but not as consistently as by not using them. So my main takeaway from this is that using both the 1.4 and the 2x teleconverters are absolutely acceptable and will give good results. But it won't be as consistently good results as not using them. So using the 1.4, I think mostly you're going to get very good sharp images. The subject detection works really fast. Perhaps this is just not as consistent as by not using it. And then using the 2x teleconverter, a little bit more on that end. It's not going to be as consistent. It is still possible to get, as you see in this chaffinch image, a perfectly sharp image. But as we saw with a lot of the other images, a lot more of them is going to have a little bit of a softness to it. But the interesting thing with it, I think, is that looking at the images on a full screen without zooming in 100%, they look really good. So in most situations, they're going to be perfectly fine to use. It's only when you zoom in 100% that you might see a little bit of a softness to them in a bit more of the images using the 2x teleconverter. And as we saw with the subject detection, the 2x teleconverter, even though it was working really fast, it might have a little bit more of a lag to it than by not using it, or even when using it with the 1.4, which was just really good results. The thing about this lens is, ideally, you want to use it to get the most value from it and like the best results, and that's going to be using it on its own. Saying that though, I think that you can get great results using the 1.4 teleconverter and good results using the 2x teleconverter. So I hope that helps, and thank you so much for watching. And also, I'm coming out with a calendar, a Scottish wildlife calendar for 2026. So please, if you want to pick one up, you can order one on my website now. Thank you so much.